welcome to the Better Things Studio. I am back for more tips and tricks with regards to DIY and fashion. Today, guys, I don't even want to waste time with my intro. We are going to make sure that you are able to follow with all the DIYs that I'm going to do in the future. I'm going to do point of view shooting on how you can do all the stitches by hand. Obviously, I cheat and I do like a lot of the things with the sewing machine. And it's just a matter of like time and convenience, and a lot of people don't have that luxury. So I always like suggest, okay, use fabric glue, use glue, just make sure that it like works on the fabric you're using, or sew it by hand. And I'll always like try to find like new ways that we can all just kind of cheat without having to sew by hand, because yes, sometimes it gets a little bit like it takes a little bit of time, but once you start getting used to it, it actually isn't that bad, and you find that you open yourself up to like having amazing things that you wouldn't have had because you don't want to like sew by hand. So today I'm going to show you guys the 3 stitches that you can use to sew. Like a lot of the tutorials that I do, you kind of need these stitches, so I'm just going to show you how to do them, just so that when you're following in the tutorials and you want to get the thing done, like whatever I'm doing on that particular day, that you're able to do so. I know I did it with Lulu. I know I did like a, you know, like a 2x2 where I was teaching her, but this is going to be very more point of view, where you can kind of refer back to and just kind of see how it goes and practice, and it will help you with anything else, not even just my DIYs, just like everything. So yeah, and yeah, if you have any questions, if like it's not clear or anything, do not hesitate. You can kind of like keep in touch on the socials, ask me, comment, say, and I will literally, if I have to, freaking call you or like take another video just for you, just so that you know how to do it. So don't be afraid to kind of like, you know, speak, you know, ask, and I'll always be there to help where I can. But for now, let's get to the video. And yeah, guys, so Avi, it's probably a good idea to get your hands on some needle, thread and some pins, just so that you can follow on the DIYs easier, and it's handy for emergencies. First stitch I'm going to teach you is the running stitch, and basically the running stitch is what you're usually going to use when we do our DIYs and when we're sewing. It's pretty straightforward. It's what you do when you sew basically, and all you do is kind of in and out your fabric at same distances apart, as you can see in the video. Second stitch I'm going to teach you is the invisible stitch. With the invisible stitch, we usually use it when we want to kind of not show that sewing was done in that particular area. So with the invisible stitch, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of go in, and the back stitch is going to be quite longer than the front stitch. The front stitch needs to be very short, whereas the back stitch is long. As you can see in the video, that's how we do it. The third stitch I'll show you is just an in and out. It's kind of a running stitch, but it's just on the edge of the fabric. Sometimes you get fabric that sheds, or you want to sew your wig. This is probably the best bet stitch that you can use to kind of stop your fabric from shedding, and also just to kind of do your wigs. Just to give you an idea of how the stitches look from the back, as you can see, the invisible stitch, the stitches at the back of the fabric are longer than at the front of the fabric. If you use a thread that is the same color as the fabric, it's not supposed to show, and that's the greatest thing about the invisible stitch. And just in case you are wondering how to put a button in, it's pretty straightforward. It's a kind of hit and miss. You have to get basically your thread through the hole and into the fabric, and you do an in and out, round and round until you are done. And just like that, you're clued up and ready for some amazing DIY with me. I hope that this helps, especially the visuals, because sometimes I know that my explanations are a bit busy, but always know that you can keep in touch on the socials and I will be ready to help you whenever you are, or when I can. But for now guys, I will see you later.